London, a city steeped in history, a city built on dreams, and a city where millions of souls pass each other every single day, often without a second glance. It's a place of incredible contrasts, where magnificent landmarks cast long shadows. And beneath the iconic shadow of Tower Bridge lived a man who felt completely invisible. His name was James Bowen, and his story is a testament to how the smallest creature can change a life in the biggest way. James wasn't always on the streets. He once had what most of us would call a normal life. But the cruel grip of addiction is a slow, relentless thief. It crept into his world and piece by piece took everything away. First, it took his home. Then, it fractured his family ties. Finally, it stole his future, leaving him with nothing but the clothes on his back and a heavy, hollow feeling inside. His existence became a minute-by-minute, day-by-day struggle for survival. He drifted between temporary hostels, finding a bed wherever he could, the cold seeping into his bones. His days were spent on the bustling streets of London, his worn-out guitar, his only companion, and his only source of income. He'd play for hours, pouring what little energy he had into his music, hoping for a few coins to drop into his guitar case, just enough to get through another day. Each night felt colder than the last, and every morning, the weight of his reality felt heavier. The city's relentless energy, which once might have felt exciting, now just amplified his own sense of isolation. He was a ghost in his own life, watching the world move on without him. One evening, exhausted and defeated, James made his way back to the temporary housing where he was staying. As he walked down the dimly lit hallway, something caught his eye. Curled up quietly in a corner was a small, still figure. It was a ginger cat. The poor creature was clearly injured, its body weak and barely moving. A wave of helplessness washed over James. His first instinct was to walk past, to pretend he hadn't seen it. He knew he couldn't afford to help. He could barely help himself. Taking on another life, especially one that needed medical care, was impossible. But as he took a step to continue on his way, something made him stop. He looked back at the cat, and their eyes met. There was something in that gaze, a profound calmness, yet a depth of pain that mirrored his own. In that moment, the cat wasn't just an animal. It was a reflection of his own suffering. He couldn't just leave him there. He couldn't turn his back. Against all logic, James carefully scooped up the injured cat. He found a local vet, his heart pounding with anxiety. The vet's words were direct and grim. He needs treatment. He's in bad shape. If you leave him now, he won't survive. The choice was stark. James looked down at the small bundle of fur in his arms and then thought about the meager money he had. Money that was supposed to be for his own food, his own survival. Without a second thought, he used every last penny he had to pay for the cat's treatment. For the next few days, the cat recovered in James's small, sparse room. James cleaned his wounds, gave him his medicine, and shared what little food he could find. He fully expected that as soon as the cat felt strong enough, he would bolt, disappearing back into the labyrinthine streets of London, just as he had appeared. That's what street cats do. But this cat didn't. He stayed. A strange and wonderful thing began to happen. The cat started to follow James everywhere. When James went to the communal kitchen, the cat was there, a silent orange shadow at his heels. When James finally fell into an exhausted sleep, he'd wake up to find the cat watching over him, a quiet, protective guardian. Whenever he left the building, the cat would wait patiently by the door for his return. A bond was forming, unspoken but incredibly powerful. James decided to give him a name. He called him Bob. With Bob by his side, something inside James began to shift. For the first time in years, he felt a sense of purpose. He wasn't just surviving for himself anymore. He was responsible for another living being. This little creature depended on him. Waking up in the morning no longer felt like a burden. It meant he had to get up, and find food for Bob. Playing his guitar on the street wasn't just about earning a few coins for himself. It was about ensuring Bob was safe and warm. He didn't know it yet, but this injured stray cat hadn't just wandered into a hallway. He had walked directly into James's life for a reason, destined to become the furry, four-legged hero who would save him from the brink. This was more than a friendship. It was the beginning of a rescue. Bob's journey with James is only just beginning, and the most incredible parts are yet to come. Subscribe to our channel to follow their story and see how this remarkable cat transforms a life, one paw print at a time. Thanks for watching.